There we go. There we go. Money. Let's go. That's the energy we need. That's the energy we need. So here we go. Here we go. Now we're coming back. Now we are coming back. Welcome to the first live stream after all these issues we've been having. Let's see. Let's set this thumbnail up first before we get started. Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Man, this technology, I'll tell you what. Come on now. Let me see. Here we go. Here we go. Two seconds, y'all. I'm trying to get all this stuff set up. Look. Man. Yo, let me know how the video service is going. Can y'all see me all right? Can you hear me? Cause I'm getting a lag. Yeah, you're right. Cut the music. See? Yeah, you're right. I'm getting a lag over here. We good? Let me know. Can you hear me? Is the video good? All right, cool. Man, look, all right, so welcome back to another episode. I'm SwipaCam, and we going live. We just going to see what happened. We just going to try to make it work. We going to make it do what it do. Welcome back, Swiper Gang. We are back in the house for another episode. I appreciate y'all helping your boy out. And look, I was traveling for work, man. I was in another state, so y'all got to see me doing my work and doing an episode in another state, and you had me do it in the hotel room. So I appreciate y'all waiting on me and work with me on everything, man. And so I was excited to get back here. So let me just go ahead and start. I woke up this morning. And I was excited, right? I'm like, man, the Nuggets about to play against the Toronto Raptors today. The game's about to be crazy. And then, you know what? Back to back, MPJ's ankle was all right. He was still healthy. He said he was feeling cool. Michael Malone said he was doing good, all that other stuff, right? And so I'm like, all right, going to be a banger of a game. And then the NFL draft was tonight, so I was already lit. I'm like, George Payton about to make a move. I already know that the Denver Broncos are going to come up. They're going to draft somebody. They're going to get somebody real nice. They're going to be looking for a quarterback more than likely. They're going to be trying to get somebody like a Justin Fields. They're going to try to get somebody like a Trey Lance, something like that. And then, so here we are. I'm going throughout my day. I made it through work. I went to the gym. I felt great. I said, you know what? This is going to be an excellent night. I got home after a great workout, took my shower, got my dinner ready, made sure my dog was good. I set up my table. I had my computer set up, my TV set up. I had my game going on with the Nuggets. I had the draft going on television. The Twitter was up. Yo. And then, all right, I started watching the Nuggets game. Let's cover that. I started watching the Nuggets game. The Nuggets started off slow because we knew they were going to start off slow, playing against the Toronto Raptors. We already knew what was going to happen. And so it's like, you know what? Cool, fine. I get it. Playing against a team that blew you out when you thought Kyle Lowry was getting traded. That's not what happened. He ends up staying with the team. And so now we're playing him again another time. But here we go. We show up for this game. And the Denver Nuggets are blowing them out by 20 in the third and fourth quarters. The score is 121 to 111 for the final score of the game. Michael Porter Jr. in 35 minutes has 23 points, 7 rebounds, 8 of 19 shooting, 3 of 8 from the three-point line, 4 of 4 on the free throw line, and he was a plus 16 tonight. Michael Porter Jr. was a plus 16 tonight, but guess what? He wasn't even team high. You already know who the team high was. We've already talked about this before. Either he going to play great or he ain't going to play well at all, and that's P.J. Dozier. Tonight, P.J. Dozier, 28 minutes, had 10 points, 1 rebound, and 3 assists. But he was 4 of 11 from the field, 1 of 6 from the three-point line, 1 of 1 from the free throw line with 1 block. But he was a plus 25. And he was playing really good defense against Lowry. He was playing really good defense against Lowry all day. It was a great game. It was a great game. The Denver Nuggets, that's their 4th straight win. The Denver Nuggets now 42-21 and officially a half game behind the LA Clippers for the 3rd seed in the Western Conference. Just think about it, y'all. Think about how far the Denver Nuggets have come. They start off the season 1-4. They lose, twice in the first 5 games to the Sacramento Kings. They lost to the Washington Wizards. All that other stuff. They weren't playing well. We were worried. We were concerned. Now, again, we weren't really concerned. We talked about it. When you're integrating 7 new players, you thought you was going to have a team with Jamal Murray, Drew Holiday, Jeremy Grant, MPJ, and you also going to have Nikola Jokic. You thought that was going to be your squad, and that's not what it was. And so they had to find a way to pick it up. And they started off like 12-11, 13-12. Then ever since, they have been on a roll. They got the best records in the NBA since March 1st. They are now, 15-3 since Aaron Gordon came to be a part of the team? Look, you already know. You already know that Aaron Gordon is going to play on Saturday. Kawhi Leonard's probably going to show up and play on that game as well. Because you know what? The Clippers got something out for the Denver Nuggets. They're trying to prove a point. But here's the thing. It's kind of tainted this year. Because if the Denver Nuggets win, they win because they're resilient, because they're a great team, because they got players, they got ballers. But if people lose to the Denver Nuggets, because I was listening to the New Orleans Pelicans podcast, listen to the New Orleans Pelicans broadcast yesterday. And when they were talking about how you got to take advantage of playing against the Denver Nuggets right now because they have Jamal Murray out, Monte Morris out, and Will Barton out. But here's the thing. They were saying that you should be able to get not an easy win, but you need to pick this opportunity. You need to get a win when you can. But here's the problem. The Denver Nuggets are not just a resilient team, but they're still a way talented team, way more talented than most teams in the NBA. Now, people forget that because they think, Jamal Murray's out. All you got to do is worry about Nikola Jokic, so, you're going to be all right. But that's not the way it works. That's not the way it works. Jokic is the fulcrum of the team. He's the fulcrum of how the team is successful. He's what makes it work. He's what makes it happen. But at the end of the day, he's the best player in the NBA this year for a reason. So you ain't just finna walk through the Denver Nuggets. You're not just finna walk through Jokic. You're not finna just walk through Michael Porter Jr. Because even if you think that you only got 2 players to stop, there's a bunch of people on that squad that are role players that know their responsibility. JaMychal Green knows his role. Paul Millsap knows his role. Monte Morris knows his role. Will Barton knows his role. Facu Campazzo knows his role on the team. So that's why they're balling. They're 8-1. They're 8-1 since Jamal Murray went out. That's why they're balling. So that's the thing. That's where we are right now. The Denver Nuggets are streaking. They play against not only the Clippers. They show up on Monday and they play against the LA Lakers. And then after that, they play against the Knicks. They got the Utah Jazz and they got the Brooklyn Nets. So the next 5 games are about to be it. We would love to see if we can get that 3rd seed. Hopefully that the Lakers can hold on to the 5th seed at that point. But you already know the way that Michael Malone and Tim Connelly are going to play this. They're going to do whatever they have to do to get the Clippers and the Lakers in a first-round matchup. And you know what? The NBA deserves that. Because all the NBA wants to do is they hype up that LA matchup. They want to hype up that LA matchup because they want to sell the views on ESPN and Fox Sports and all that and ABC. They want to give you what they would say the best players in the NBA are. Give them Kawhi Leonard. Give them LeBron James. And again, you already know I think LeBron James is one of the top 3 players of all time. Him, Jordan, and Kareem. But you know what? I would love to see them play in a first-round series. And I would love to see an injured team in the Denver Nuggets because of the play of Nikola Jokic, the MVP I would love to see them come up and make it to the Western Conference Finals still, because I believe they can beat the Jazz. I believe they can beat the Suns still. So MPJ is playing really well. He's had 3 straight games before today of 28-plus points. Had he played more in the fourth quarter, he probably would have had more points. Yeah, so right, Hakeem. I said Hakeem. Hakeem from Coming to America. I don't know if you've seen Coming to America. Coming to America 2 just came out. That's probably why I said that. But yeah, absolutely. Somebody bringing up about, are we going to pay MPJ? Yeah, you paying MPJ the max. MPJ, until Jokic gets his third deal, till he gets that $250 million deal, MPJ will be the highest paid player on the Denver Nuggets team. That's coming. So just be ready for that. That contract will be dropped this summer. So you do not have to worry about that. By the way, if you know people on the channel, tell them to come and join the live. Let's fill this live out. Let's get some people on this live. Let's have this conversation, because I'm going to be here for a little bit. We're going to talk about the Nuggets right now, but we're going to have to talk about these Denver Broncos, man. And again, if you're not even a big football fan, you don't really like NFL all that much, hey, man, stay on. Because you know what? If you investing in the Denver Nuggets and Nikola Jokic, you might want to invest in the Denver Broncos, man, because, wow, man, there's some stuff happening right now. So we're dealing with a lot right now. The Denver Nuggets are injured. Jamal Murray's out. We're still missing 2 players because of hamstrings, but they're finding ways to win. And that, again, is another testament to how great Nikola Jokic has been this year. So y'all already know how I feel about that. You already know what I got to say about that. You already know my feelings and affection towards the player that Jokic is, the impact that Michael Porter Jr. is having. You know that I believe that he is going to be a top 10 player at some point. I tell you all the time that he plays with Zion Williamson level efficiency from the perimeter. He's that great. He is that great. So, Denver Nuggets win. Got the Clippers coming up on Saturday. All right, let's transition, man. Let's transition. Let's move over. Let's have this real conversation about the Denver Broncos. What's going on, man? You know, here's the thing. I'm watching, people on DNVR. Shout out to DNVR. I'm watching analysts. Benjamin Albright. It could be Mace. It could be RK. It could be Zach Stevens. It could be all these people. I'm listening to everybody. I'm listening. I get that George Payton believes in Teddy Bridgewater. I get that he believes in Drew Lock's development. Obviously not that much. That's why you got Teddy Bridgewater to come in. But here's what I don't understand, you all. Here's what I don't get. We keep settling for these mid-tier quarterbacks, or what we think hopefully are mid-tier quarterbacks, and it's not working out. It hasn't worked out. We haven't had good quarterback play in Denver since the 2014 season, halfway through the season before Peyton Manning started going downhill because of injuries. We haven't had good quarterback play in almost 7 years in the city of Denver, and it don't make any sense. We've been dealing with Trevor Siemian, who still is to this day is the winningest quarterback we've had since Peyton Manning. We overdrafted for a player in Paxton Lynch that started 4 games, whatever else it is. And then we have Case Keenum come in, and then we get Joe Flacco, all that other stuff. We get all these players that are supposed to be these gap fillers, but it doesn't make any sense. And one of the reasons it doesn't make any sense is because the NBA, or the NFL rather, the NFL is dominated by elite quarterback play. Elite quarterback play. I put it out on Twitter earlier that there's only been a handful of quarterbacks. There have only been a handful of quarterbacks since 1990 that have won a championship that are not Hall of Fame players. Only a handful of them. So you go back to Nick Foles. They happened to win a Super Bowl with Nick Foles, who played out of his mind for the playoffs. But you can't count on that. Nick Foles, look what he's doing now. Nothing. And then you had Brad Johnson with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2002. That team was carried by one of the greatest defenses of all time. Of all time. So you can't count on that. And then you get all the way back to Jeff Hostler in 1990 with the Giants. Once again, one of the greatest defenses of the era. You do not win Super Bowls without Hall of Fame quarterbacks. You don't. Joe Flacco, again, had the playoff series of his life. He threw like 14 touchdowns or 11 touchdowns and 0 picks during the playoffs. It was a historic run. So here's the thing. The Denver Broncos, again, that's how you know we switching up. The Denver Broncos, man, they have continued to bypass the quarterback situation in order to find a way to almost like they're not trying to pay a premium for the position. Like, what are you doing? And again, I'm not saying that Drew Lock can't develop. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Teddy Bridgewater can't be an average quarterback. That's not what I'm saying. And by the way, for those of you that aren't familiar with the Denver Broncos are by far the most popular team in Colorado. Colorado is a football state. It is a football state. The Denver Broncos are beloved in Colorado, which is why it's been so difficult to watch them over the last several years. You can ask anybody in the chat right now. The Denver Broncos have been the center of sports life in Colorado for the entirety of most of our lives. When Pat Bowlen was here, he was the winningest owner of all time over a 30-year period. So with all of that, having these situations like this, man, where you're having to deal with Teddy Bridgewater, having to deal with hopefully Drew Lock can grow. Y'all got to look up the stats, man. If a quarterback hasn't figured it out by year 2, the odds of that player turning into an elite player is slim to none. That's not how development works. And again, for all the people saying, well, Drew Lock didn't have a whole offseason last year. Well, guess what? Neither did Joe Burrow. Neither did Joe Burrow. Neither did Justin Herbert. I mean, Josh Allen did, but that was his. But y'all, remember, Josh Allen, by the time year 2 came around, he was still looking decent. That was still a borderline playoff team. Last year, he turns into an all-pro quarterback, basically. Now, do you think Drew Lock can become an all-pro quarterback? We'll see. But again, that's what I'm saying. Like, why are we so dependent on players doing the abnormal? It takes a Herculean effort to do that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't. That's what I don't understand is like we're hoping that our quarterbacks do something that only a handful of quarterbacks have ever done in NFL history. Tom Brady did it because he stepped in year 2 over for Drew Bledsoe and took a team that had a great championship defense, and they went and they won. But it took a while to get that process going. It took a while for him to become an all-time great quarterback, but he was a winner from the get-go. He was a winner. He won in Michigan. He showed you at Michigan that he can win. So that's what I'm saying, man. It's frustrating because this city has so much more potential. The team has so much more potential than what it's selling for. And once again, I like Patrick Surtain. The second, I watched his dad play. When he played for the Miami Dolphins, he was an elite corner. I thought coming into the draft, he was the best corner in the draft. Again, J.C. Horn is from Georgia. J.C. Horn can play. J.C. Horn is great man-to-man corner, South Carolina. Really either or. But again, you give me Pat. Pat 6'2", 210 pounds. But the Denver Broncos already made a trade for Fuller. They signed Ronald Darby to a 3-year deal. You already got Bryce Callahan. And then you also have Michael O.J. Moody on the bench. So you telling me you going to add Patrick Surtain on top of that? Like, what? But no quarterback, though. So this is what I'm saying. So you're saying that you want to, hopefully the goal is you want to go play against the Kansas City Chiefs, the Las Vegas Raiders, and now the Los Angeles Chargers. You want to play against the elite of the elite, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the, maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers. You want to play against all these great quarterbacks, and you want to hope that your defense can hold them to less than 20 points, and hopefully your offense can put up 21 points a game, which is way below league average. The Denver Broncos have been struggling to score over 20 points per game over the last 6 years in an era of NFL football where it's the easiest time ever to score. But the hope is that Aaron Rodgers and all the information that came out earlier is true. Aaron Rodgers came out and basically through the vine said that he does not want to play for the Green Bay Packers anymore and he will not be coming back. And so, before the draft, George Paton was working on a trade with the Green Bay Packers to see if they could acquire Aaron Rodgers and bring him to the Denver Broncos, likely for the 9th overall pick and other assets. Apparently, the asking price was something around 3 first-round picks, which, once again, it might have been the 9th this year, but it likely would have been in the high 30s, the high 20s the next 2 years. So, oh well, go ahead and take that. Go ahead and take that. But the rumor is that the Green Bay Packers got cold feet. They didn't want to let go of Aaron Rodgers, and so they decided that they want to wait and see. They hold his feet to the fire. And so after the June 2nd deadline occurs, when that cap hit gets significantly reduced and they can get rid of Aaron Rodgers by trade, they might do it. But here's the thing. Are the Broncos going to be the only contender? Is he going to say to the Green Bay Packers, I want to go to the Denver Broncos? It might. Apparently it almost happened today. So, a potential trade package for Aaron Rodgers? I mean, probably 3 first-round picks. 3 first-round picks. Maybe Drew Lock. I mean, if they really want a receiver, maybe a receiver. Maybe a receiver. By the way, somebody let me know, who did the Green Bay Packers pick up in the draft just now? Because I was watching the basketball game when it happened. Who did they pick up in the draft? Let me see if I can find it for y'all show me. Let's see, the Green Bay Packers. Hey, my mock draft wasn't bad, by the way. I missed on some things, but my mock draft wasn't terrible. My mock draft was not completely awful. Did the Packers pick yet? Eric Stokes? Yeah. So they know they need quarter help. So maybe, and some people were speculating RK and D-Line Cole from DMVR. They were speculating that maybe we trade Surtain the second to Green Bay in a swap. Maybe. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. I think that the Green Bay GM, if he did get cold feet, I think that's a shame because they could have got a haul. You could have got a top 10 pick. By the way, Najee Harris to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look, if you play fantasy football, that might need to be a top 3 pick in the draft. Matter of fact, it might need to be the back end of round 2. If you play fantasy football, Najee Harris might be a top 2 round pick in fantasy football next year. Because again, remember, y'all, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they tote one back. They don't really split carries like that. They only do because you had, what's the name? Yeah, James Conner playing. He couldn't really play in the pass game all that well, but Najee Harris can. So anyway, I just don't. I want to be able to trust the Denver Broncos with what they're doing. I want to trust the process. I want to trust the work. I want to trust that it's going to work out. But here's the thing, y'all. So we play elite defense. Let's say, what's the best case scenario? We play elite defense. Best case scenario, you get great defense from Von Miller. You get great defense from Bradley Chubb, Shelby Harris, McTelvin Agim. Should you get great defense from some of your interior pass rush, Draymond Jones? Let's just say you get great defense coming from Alexander Johnson and Josie Jewell. Let's just say Justin Simmons is an all-pro again. Let's just say that Kareem Jackson plays out of his mind again. Let's just say that Ronald Darby has another great year. He stays healthy the whole year. That Kendall Fuller, he stays healthy the whole year. Or Kyle Fuller stays healthy the whole year. Plays well the entire year. Let's say that Surtain is that dude. He's a lockdown corner. Let's say Bryce Callahan stays healthy. So what? What does that mean? That we giving up only what? 14, 15 points a game? 16 points a game? So now what? Now you got to hope that your offense can put up 17, 18, 19 points per game? Nah. It's not a winning strategy. See, but even saying like we only need 20 points. Y'all, if you look up the NFL average for points per game, 20 points is bottom half of the league. That's not good. You don't want to have to keep making your defense play out of its mind to be successful. You don't want the team to have to play out of its mind on defense to be successful. So I don't like that strategy because the fact of the matter is the reason that you can trust Patrick Mahomes, the reason that you can trust what's happening with Tom Brady is because you know they can win you a game. Aaron Rodgers can win you a game, but, and again, y'all, let me say this too. I'm not saying Justin Fields comes away as a rookie and he's dominating. I'm not saying that Justin Fields steps in the game one, and he's Justin Herbert. But guess what? Justin Herbert did have 30 touchdowns last year, y'all. Let's not forget. Baker Mayfield, and he played in 12 and a half games, had 28 touchdowns as a rook. And would you say he's a top 10 quarterback? No. He still, though, had 28 touchdowns as a rookie. Patrick Mahomes in his second year. So that's what I'm saying, y'all. I'm not asking for a miracle. I'm not asking for Justin Fields to come out and be a top 5 quarterback. But it's asking so much. It's asking so much of your defense to ask them to do it all the time. So that's what I'm saying, man. I don't like the pressure it puts on the defense. I do think that Drew Lock has potential, y'all. It's not that I don't like Drew Lock. I was advocating for him last year. He has potential to step up and be a good quarterback, to be in a great situation. But again, you're hoping that he breaks the mold. You're hoping that he becomes something that only a few people have ever become in their third year. That's asking a lot. And again, that's not even really evaluating football. That's hope. So then now you get Teddy Bridgewater. What's he going to do if he starts 17 touchdowns and 14 interceptions? That's not winning football. And then, people were talking about next year. Well, what if they can maybe get like somebody like Sam Howell or something like that? I'm like, so we going to be back in the top 10 again? By the way, y'all, and that's a part of the whole culture with the Denver Broncos. They're so overconfident that the 1990 style of football is going to win. 'Cause that's what they did when they was coming up. They was playing that kind of ball. Run the ball, be smart with the ball, play good defense, win Super Bowls. That's what they thought they were supposed to do. That's what won John Elway's games. But that's so difficult to do now because none of the other quarterbacks are doing that. None of the other teams are built like that. You can say Jimmy Garoppolo, but you saw what happened to him. What just happened to Jimmy G? Got replaced by Trey Lance today. He got replaced by Trey Lance today. So if that's the case, that's what I'm saying. You can't be overly reliant on quarterbacks hopefully developing. And this is the thing about Justin Fields. You know what? He's already more talented than Drew Lock ever was. He's way more accurate than he ever was. He's way more successful than he ever was. And he was sitting there at 9. Now, if you would have said, you know what? I'm going to trade back with the Saints at 28, or I'm going to trade back with the Bears at 20, or even back at 18 with Washington, whatever else it was. then you can do it. But I know they didn't want to get rid of having their number one defensive player come off the board early enough. I get it. Look, I know there's chances, but this is what I'm saying, y'all. Like at some point, this is my thing. Since some of y'all don't agree with what I'm saying, and you don't know if Justin Fields would turn out, here's the question then. At what point do you take that gamble? At what point do you invest in a quarterback in the first top 10 picks? At what point do you trade up in the draft to get a quarterback? Because guess who did it? The Texans did it, and they went up and got Deshaun Watson, traded a first-round pick the next year to do it. The Chiefs did it. They traded up and got Patrick Mahomes. They traded a first-round pick the next year to do it. The Eagles did it with Carson Wentz, and you know what? It got him to a Super Bowl. And Carson Wentz was up for an MVP in 2017 season. Then he started getting injured. The line started going down. And then next thing you know, he wasn't good. Now, but again, he's going to be with the Indianapolis Colts with a great offensive line, more weapons around him. He's probably going to have a resurgence. So I'm asking you, tell me if I'm tripping. Because again, y'all, I've sat through this. We already know I play college football. Been around it. Hope the quarterback gets better. Hope they progress. Hope next year. Hope next year. Hope next year. Sometimes next year don't come. Most times next year don't come. So I'm not saying it is Justin Fields, but at what point do you take the gamble? If Aaron Rodgers is available, which I believe he is by everything that's been said, it sounds like the Green Bay Packers are going to try to hold on to him for a while. That's their prerogative. But if he wants to go, then if I'm the Denver Broncos, I'm trading whatever I have to trade him. Really, I would trade picks more than players because we need those players since we're not going to have our picks. And if that's a part of the solution, you're saying, no, we're going to be more expensive when we get Aaron Rodgers. Let's go ahead and get a quality tier 1 cornerback right now to get a shutdown cornerback right now. Let's get that today. Let's do it. Then cool. I get it. If that's your strategy, I can rock with that. But what it sounds to me like, y'all, let me know in the comment section what you think. What it sounds like is like George Payton is trying to make this team into the 2015 Minnesota Vikings. If you remember the 2015 Minnesota Vikings, they were elite on defense, and Teddy Bridgewater was balling. Adrian Peterson was still playing well. I think he might have had, 1,400 yards that year or something. Maybe that's their strategy. Melvin Gordon's the bell cow. If he can stay healthy, if he doesn't fumble the ball. Maybe they just want to play it safe. But I'm like, you know what? The game is completely different than it was in 2015. Patrick Mahomes didn't exist. Justin Herbert wasn't here. So you're right. Again, maybe tomorrow, second, third round, maybe they're thinking Kellen Mond. That's a project, though. We don't know what he's going to be. So we'll see, man. I want to believe, y'all. It's not that I don't want to believe. It's not that I don't want to hope. It's not that I don't think that there's a possibility that Locke develops. There's always a chance. There's always a chance somebody can develop, but you're hoping on something is not common. Somebody said Ryan B. Maybe the Broncos make a play. They made a play for Stafford, Watson, and now Rodgers. They're not content with a game manager. You're right. But you know what? Teddy Bridgewater is the definition of a game manager. Definition. Really, haters? What do you think about 3 firsts and a mid-round pick in Hamilton for A-Rod? Sure. If they'll take it. If that's what they'll take, then they'll take it. Our top quarterbacks, usually Pro Bowlers in year 2. You ever heard of Lamar Jackson? Not, again, top. You ever heard of Lamar Jackson? You ever heard of Patrick Mahomes? You ever heard of Deshaun Watson? Yeah, they are. Top second years? Yeah, they usually are. So we'll see. We'll see. Again, Teddy Bridgewater is only going to cost $3 million this year. Drew Lock going to give it another shot. But you know what? Maybe they get Aaron. Hopefully they do. I don't know. I mean, I was sitting there, and I'm telling y'all, I'm sitting there, I'm looking at the draft, I'm watching it. I got off of Twitter, I was waiting on the pick. I was just hoping Justin Fields was gonna come up, but I was like, I just had a weird feeling though that he wasn't about to get his name called. I had a weird feeling about it. And y'all, the Denver Broncos, man, we ain't drafted a mobile quarterback like that ever, really. And y'all, we haven't really used. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to this, man. It's pretty deep, man. I joked with Ryan. I joked with Ryan on Twitter today from DMVR. I said, what did I say? Let me pull it up for y'all. I said George Payton would have passed on Nikola Jokic tonight, and he would have said we feel really good about what we have in Hassan Whiteside. George Payton would have passed on Nikola Jokic tonight because he would have said that we feel really good about what we have in Hassan Whiteside. Y'all, yeah, Hassan Whiteside led the league in blocks a couple times. He got a big deal. He got paid. He sure did. But is he Yoke? No. Teddy Bridgewater, yeah, he made it to a Pro Bowl before. Teddy Bridgewater, he's led a playoff team before. But is he great? No. Look, man, Sean and Len, hey, go ahead. Hey, look, and this is real, y'all. Again, this is the conversation I know for a fact that has been had in NFL circles. The Denver Broncos were the first organization in NFL history to start a black quarterback. It was Marlon Briscoe. First black quarterback ever was Marlon Briscoe. We haven't had a starting quarterback we have not had a starting black quarterback since Marlon Briscoe. Now, last year don't count because we had to play a wide receiver at quarterback. But again, I don't even necessarily think it's just necessarily the race. It could be the ethnicity, but I don't really think that's what it is. I think a lot of it has to do with play style. Elway, they just have a certain way. Because again, y'all, we had Elway from 84 to the late 90s, 99. Then we had Brian Greasy, Maddox, Bubby Brister, Jake Plummer, Kyle Orton, Jay Cutler, Tim Tebow, Peyton Manning. So it's not like they had a lot of opportunity. They didn't have a lot of opportunity to have different kinds of quarterbacks, but now we in the 21st century, y'all. So what's up? Like, you need dual threat quarterbacks. You need dual threat quarterbacks. Tell me, what quarterback in the NFL is not a dual threat quarterback and is dominating outside of Tom Brady, outside of Aaron Rodgers, who's still mobile, extremely mobile, and who else? Drew Brees, and he was not good the last year. So who else? Kirk Cousins is not a top 10 quarterback. You're not going to win anything with him. Jimmy Garoppolo just got replaced. Derek Carr is mobile, but look what he's doing. He's not ever coming out of the AFC West. Justin Herbert is mobile. So unless you are top tier quarterback in NFL history to this day, you can't survive. Josh Allen, mobile. Dak Prescott, mobile. Joe Burrow can run. He took off. Even Sam Darnold, who you don't think is mobile, he took off for like 40 yards, 45 yards against the Broncos last year. Even he can run. Ryan Tannehill's mobile. He played receiver coming out of college. He could run. I mean, keep going. Keep thinking about it. Who else? Dak can run, man. Tell him, Russell Wilson can run. He's a dog. He's the hardest dude to sack, even though he gets sacked more than anybody else in the league. Yeah, but Drew Lock can run, y'all, but Drew Lock ain't got it up here yet. Here's what I'm saying, man. This is what I'm saying. Yeah, Rivers, look what happened to Phillip Rivers. What did he win? What did Phillip Rivers win? Because even when he was dominating, when he was an immobile quarterback, he never was better than the other mobile quarterbacks. That's what I'm saying. We make all these excuses for quarterbacks. We give him all this time. Matt Stafford he's trucked people before. Matt Stafford can run. But again, Matt Stafford got a boomer for an arm. And he's still deadly accurate. But Matt Stafford ain't won nothing either. So that's what I'm saying. Even the people we trying to compare Drew Lock to, what have they won? What have they won? What has Big Ben won? When's the last time Big Ben won a Super Bowl? When's the last time Big Ben performed well in an AFC Championship game? What has Matt Ryan won? What has he won? MVP? Lost in the Super Bowl. But y'all, this is what I'm trying to say. In 2015 and 2016, when you had Peyton Manning and you had, on the other side of the ball, Cam Newton, and then the next year, you have Matt Ryan and Tom Brady, that was the last time. That era is gone. Y'all, football is such a fast-moving sport. We have literally changed the way that we play football from the 2016 season to now, and it's only been 5 years because that's what's happened to the game. Once Patrick Mahomes came into the game, once Lamar Jackson came into the game, once Deshaun Watson came into the game, once you got these mobile quarterbacks that can run and throw, it was a wrap. Because now Matt Ryan, hey, look, I'm used to dealing with these cats having a game plan all day for running and throwing. All you do is throw. Man, here, get this pressure. Here's this zone blitz. Here's this zone blitz. Let me see what you got to say about this. Man to man, unless you get the ball out fast, I'm going to get you. So there's just a lot to this, man. There's just a lot to this. So I'm disappointed. I hope that they make a good decision. I hope that they continue to learn from this decision. I hope that the Denver Broncos don't just end it here. I hope that the Aaron Rodgers thing does happen because you are not about to compete in the AFC West or in the AFC until you get an elite quarterback. And Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock. And again, man, even people when they talk about Drew Lock, well, what if Drew Lock turns out to be that guy? I'm like, shoot, what if I was 6'5"? I mean, if I was 6'5", I wouldn't be doing this video with y'all right now. My hand would still be in the dirt, and I'd be 7 years into my NFL career playing DN somewhere. But that ain't what happened. I wasn't 6'5". I'm not 6'5". And right now, Drew Lock ain't good. So we hoping that he gonna be good. We hoping he gonna turn it around. And I'm saying the dude had 2 years to do it. And again, y'all can say that, oh, well, he didn't have an opportunity. He didn't have an opportunity to do OTAs and, training camp like he could have. They missed over 7,000 snaps and all that stuff. Guess who didn't? Justin Herbert. He didn't. Joe Burrow, he didn't either. And they still play better than Drew Lock. So you tell me. And they ain't got the team. Drew Lock last year had Melvin Gordon, Phillip Lindsay, Albert Okwebunam, Noah Fant, Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick, KJ Hamler, and Cortland Sutton obviously went down early in the season. So, what's the excuse? Justin Herbert had Keenan Allen. Threw 30 touchdowns last year. And you would never take that offensive personnel over what the Broncos have. So that's what I mean. Maybe Justin Fields wouldn't have been the dude, but you know what? Maybe he would have. Maybe he would have. You got a quarterback that run a 4.4 with an arm with a cannon. By all things you've heard, he's a great dude. He's a stand-up dude, and he's a great team leader. Was better than Drew Lock was coming out of college at the most important position on the field. So, it's just frustrating, you all. And I know y'all like this live. I mean, the interaction is crazy. The chat's popping. I mean, y'all are live in here. We got like 124 people that are currently online right now. You got 63, 64 likes already. Y'all, I mean, we got 5,000 plus. We got 5,250 subs plus in 4 months. So y'all already know this channel about to blow. we finna be at literally 10,000. I don't know, especially when now we're doing football. We probably gonna be at 10,000 real quick. And then on top of that, I'm gonna get a new camera. Y'all gonna not have to deal with this no more. I'm gonna get a new camera at some point, but y'all, I've been trying to let the channel grow, trying to let it, get where it needs to get. That way, I know I can invest in it. Because the thing is, the more y'all invest in the channel, the more I can invest back in it. Because, I still got to work my other, not just job, but I got other careers that I'm responsible for. I got other people I'm responsible for and stuff as well in real life. So, I'll continue to invest in this channel more because I actually want to do this for a long time because I really enjoy doing this for y'all. I want to provide content with y'all. But, man, I tell you what, it's frustrating living and being from Denver and then watching all these quarterbacks, watching the NFL score more points than it's ever done. The NFL has scored more points than it ever has before. And yet the Denver Broncos is struggling to score 20 points. 20 points. Crazy. It's crazy. What you mean you scoring 20 points? You can't score 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals in a game. So what that tells me, you can't even get it to the 35-yard line 4 to 5 times each game. If they have another losing feat, you ain't got to worry about making it the whole season. If they're 1-4, 1-5, 1-6, Vic is gone. Shermer gonna be gone too. I didn't want Vic Fangio in the first place. I didn't want Vance Joseph in the first place. Kyle Shanahan should have been the pick. But that's just the way it works, man. I realized that if I was the GM of the Denver Broncos, then, I had some mistakes in my ledger too. But you know what? My quarterbacks, I would have had a run on them. I would have had to have a run on them because there ain't no way. And this is the thing I prayed about Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick will draft a quarterback almost every single year. Go look it up. Even when Tom Brady was there, they would still draft a quarterback every year just to find assets. Think about it, who they had. Jimmy Garoppolo, Jacoby Brissett. Both of them ended up being starters on other teams and getting deals because they developed them, because they build them, and they want to invest in that position because it's important to have it. If I had my pick, this is what I would do. I'm getting Aaron Rodgers by any means necessary. Any means necessary. Any means necessary. Then I'm going to let Vic Fangio finish out this season. I don't care if they win a Super Bowl, bro. I am not bringing Vic Fangio back. Mike Munchak, I'm keeping him. But give me Eric Bieniemy. Because you know what? Again, I'm not I can get a great D coordinator. That's not the issue. I need a 21st century coach. 21st century play style, 21st century scheme, 21st century mentality, 21st century approach to football, analytics, science, training procedures, practice schedule, training camp, all that stuff. But right now, that's just not what we have, and they keep making hires, and they keep getting older and older with their hires. So, it's just a lot, man. Hopefully they go get Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. I mean, y'all, think about it. Man, think about all the mistakes that Fangio was making on the timeouts, like versus the Titans last year in the first game of the year. He mismanaged the clock, and he's like, man, I should have been paying more attention. I was so locked into calling plays. I'm like, you in your 60s, what? If, as a player, if I made mistakes like that, when I went and looked at my sheet the next day, I would have a strike. It would say ME next to that play, means mental error. That's a mental error, and we would get in so much trouble for having mental errors on the field in college. Yet Vic Fangio, he has mental error, cost us game. It ain't the first time. It's not the first time. Remember when Coach Joseph, when Bill O'Brien at halftime, when they kicked that like 64-yard field goal or something like that, and And then they went and scored. The Titans went and scored at the half and got the field goal. And everybody made fun of Vance Joseph. Everybody made fun of Vance Joseph because, oh, why would you do that? Why would you make that decision? Terrible clock management. Where's that energy at for Vic Fangio? Where's that energy at for him? So, anyway, y'all, we'll see. So, we can continue to do these live things. I like producing the content for y'all with the videos. I enjoy live. I really do. And so we can continue to do stuff like this, but at the same time, like I do like producing content for you. So we can try to integrate this. Again, if you like this kind of stuff, let me know when you would like to do it. This is what I'm thinking. And so all y'all, even those of you that are international that don't know if you like football yet, even stay with this and be involved in this as well. What I was thinking of doing is during the regular season and when NFL football come around, I'm going to do a midweek preview. I'll do a midweek preview. Basically, what's up, what's look up for the upcoming game. I'll talk schematics. What does the other team run? What are some personnel you need to look out for? All that other stuff. And then from there, on Sundays after the game, I'll do a live. That's when I think that will be lit. Because, football, right now, like the videos I do for the Nuggets, we got 72 games in the regular season. In the playoffs, the videos will probably be a little bit longer, especially the deeper we go, the more serious the games go. You can expect 20-plus minute videos. Right now, anywhere between 14 and a half to 17 minutes. 14 and a half to 17 minutes. But when you get to NFL football, that's 60 minutes, 22 people on the field at all times, defense, offense, special teams, everything. So, yeah, them videos, those lives, they're going to be about what they are right now, 45, 52 minutes. And this feels long. This feels really long. So, y'all, I appreciate y'all staying in here with me. I appreciate y'all hopping on, working through the technical difficulties and everything else. Again, I'm about to end it here in a little bit, man, but I just want y'all to know I appreciate it. I'll try to answer some of these last questions. Josh Moore, do we really need another cornerback? Yeah, I mean, you do, because you only got, Kendall's only going to be here through next year. Or Kyle Fuller, I can't remember which one it is. Kyle Fuller, they both in the league. He's going to be here through, only through this year. Then I think that, and then also too, Bryce Callahan, his contract is up after next year. Then it's going to be Ronald Darby. Michael O.J. Moody is going to be in his third year. So, yeah, you needed another corner, but I just didn't know we was going to do it so early. In round 2, if they did something where they got like Williams, the running back from North Carolina, or they got the linebacker. No, Jarman Davis just went off. That's right. Yeah, he's gone. Man, in round 2, I mean, you could look at something like a Kellen Mond, but I honestly can't see them doing that for Kellen Mond, man. I can't remember doing that. And by the way, if you know me, my name is SwipaCam. So as you refer to me on this channel, we SwipaCam. Maybe one day I told my Balkan people, my Serbian friends, that when I come to Serbia, I can tell them about who I am. But one of the reasons is SwipaCam on here, because again, I want everything to stay in here, stay on the channel, stay involved in what we're doing, and all that other stuff, and on the Twitter and everything else. And because it's not that I don't trust y'all, nothing like that. It's just, again, like, my personal work and business is like way distinct from anything that we're doing right here. And so, I'm just trying to keep it in lane. You know what I mean? So anyway, so this is the thing, man. Like, I don't know. Jabril Cox would be dope. Man, it was just such a bummer, man. I really thought that Justin Fields was about to be a Denver Bronco, man. I really did. I really thought that Justin Fields was about to be. I really thought he was about to be. He said, I don't know football. Wait, hold on. Somebody said, LOL, you don't know football, my man. Basketball feels natural. That where you at? Nah, bro. See, that's the thing. Basketball is fun. Like, talking about basketball, you just talking hoops. You just having conversations about stuff. Like, obviously I know the game, but y'all, like I said, I've been playing football my whole life, so it's just that we ain't in football season. I've been in basketball mode all these last couple of months, so No, I trust me, my bro. Yeah, trust me, my bro. I definitely know football. I mean, that's my first love. Like the only reason I didn't go and work in the league after I got done playing was because, you know what I mean, I wanted to go off and get my education and go to grad school and all that stuff. But I had an opportunity to go work in the NFL. So I mean, I love the game. Like I love it. You know what I mean? I love it. But then when you get to talk like basketball, I mean, you get to talk about so many different people from across the world and different play styles. And again, I get to celebrate somebody like LeBron James and Nikola Jokic that play in the same sport, but they completely different people, completely different athletes, you know? So that's like, it's a very invigorating kind of story. Anyway, that's all done. So my thing is that I'm going to continue to be here on this channel. I'll continue to make sure that I'm investing in doing videos and all that other stuff. And we will 1,000% be getting a new camera here in a little bit. But I appreciate y'all staying on while we are just sitting right here on the channel. You know what I mean? And while we're growing together. Because this is the thing. Y'all here in the early portion. But eventually, you know, when we get to be 100K and all that kind of stuff, everything going to be real high tech, high quality. But everything right now, you know, we just moving and grooving. So I appreciate y'all. Look, SwipaCam, y'all make this what it is. Y'all make it fun. Y'all make this a party. We will be back on Saturday after the Denver Nuggets beat the Los Angeles Clippers, and then they got an opportunity to possibly play against a healthy LA Lakers team on Monday, and we finna be going to work. Let's go, y'all. SwipaCam, we out, and I'm gonna see y'all soon.